angle of discussion, that's, oh, we're not talking government, but that angle of discussion is like what never or appears not to ever happen in the country. I mean, it looks as if there's no point government discussing anything with the citizenry because, I mean, they are the citizens, the decisions are taken in the committees and council meetings, and we'll just pass it on. Isn't that what it should be?
Exactly. I think it's up to us Nigerians now to take on the issues that really matter. The unfortunate thing is that we allow the people in leadership positions to frame the issues we discuss. And they throw those issues out on the newspapers, on the pages of newspapers, and sometimes they have nothing to do at all with the real issues. They know how to throw us red herrings that, give us hot topics to discuss, and then we leave the real issues. These are the real issues. I mean, I was watching earlier on as their governor, Oshomole, was discussing about the economy and taxes. The citizens need to discuss it because I think that's one of the most important purposes of government. I was doing my simple calculation on the size of our economy. The federal government's budget for the year, 4.46 trillion naira. At 200 naira to the dollar, that's $22.3 billion. The turnover of Google Incorporated last year was $66 billion. Federal government budget is 22.3. The oil money is chicken change, even if nobody stole it. It can't develop this country. We need the taxes. And the tax is a fraction of the income of the citizens. So the equation, if citizens don't prosper, government will be broke permanently. So what's government supposed to do? Create the environment for us citizens to prosper. Google was founded by just one or two individuals. So when you create an environment where people can sprout like that, and you can have the Bill Gates of this world, you have the guys who invented Google, Facebook, Twitter, and all of that. If they can sprout here in this country, instead of them doing 419, if we can produce people like that, we're building the economy. But we have a situation where government itself hinders people's attempts to prosper. To even register a business is a big deal. And then you register it, where do you get the funding? You have to look for generator to buy after paying rent for 2 years upfront and all. Those are the real issues, and citizens, we need to discuss it. And those are the issues that should influence the elections.
But what do we do then to change the mindset of the citizens? Because, I mean, they're key here. The last election, you spoke about how there was so much attention on who goes there to serve us, because it did appear as though many citizens had the impression, oh yeah, they were going there to lead us, but in their own, that leading actually means to lord it over us, that kind of scenario. But yes, you're running a lot of leadership. I see people talking about Leadership Academy here, how it changed their lives. But what do we really need to do so that people will understand? Because even when politicians go to campaign, they keep asking that, citizens ask them, no, what do you mean? Are you just going to come and talk and go? No, you must do something before you step out. How do we change all that?
I think that those of us who have influence, in other words, we can get the attention of the people, need to leverage on it to discuss the real issues now, and especially leadership. Religious leaders have a very important role to play. The media has a very important role to play. The entertainment industry, because presently, especially the younger population, the people in the entertainment industry, the musicians, the actors and actresses have phenomenal influences on them. And good, practice your art, but have a message. Have a crusade. I think that's how we should go about it for a start. If we're expecting the elite class in this country to change this country, we'll be in for a long way. There's hardly anywhere. We have a few countries, but all over the world, it hardly ever happens. The change happens when the people put pressure on the elite class, because the elite class wants to protect itself. I'll tell you why people get into government and they want to take care of themselves, of their lives. It's survival. It's difficult to own a house in this country. I've checked out in Europe, I've checked out in North America. You have a good job. You build up the deposits, maybe 10% or 20%. You get a loan from the bank. You buy your house, and then you pay over 25 years.
Not that they expect you to
years.
bring one lump sum from somewhere.
No. So those, and these needs are basic. The need for shelter is basic. So the need for a vehicle to move around with. So our banking system needs to change in its structure, not empower the rich to get richer and then give absolutely nothing to the poor. But I'll tell you where leadership influences all this. The first characteristic of a leader, they say, is vision. The ability to see people, places, and things, not just the way they are, but the way they could be. So when I listen to politicians campaigning in Nigeria, the only thing I want to hear is, what Nigeria, or which Nigeria, does this person see in the future? And I hardly hear anything. What I'm waiting to hear is the picture of a developed Nigeria. All the developed countries didn't drop from heaven. They were built. But people envisioned them first. If you take vision out of a leader, there's nothing left. It is vision that makes a leader. That's the heart of leadership. So you have the capacity to envision, to see the future, and then you have the ability to communicate it, transfer that vision into people's hearts.
That's what other people talk about, the country's dream.
For me, I want to hear about the Nigerian dream. It's one campaign I'm going to run on before long from now. There has to be a Nigerian dream. What will Nigeria look like in the future? Where there is no vision, people perish.
Who's going to
and that's
build,
in the Bible.
Who's going to build that dream, the Nigerian dream? Because if you check, out of the 170 million Nigerians, I'm sure there are a few Nigerians who have the Nigeria they want to see. I mean, every Nigerian has a dream of. So who's going to birth that Nigerian dream, and how would it go around?
It's Nigerians that need to bet it. We've had a situation where we've had administrations in government that created dreams for us. And once they leave office, the dream is forgotten, another government comes. It won't work that way. Nigerians need to create the dream and to own it. So when we elect a party to go in, it is to fulfill that dream.
Just continues.
If we see them drifting, we take them out, bring in somebody else or another party, but the dream remains constant. It's Nigerians. And once that dream is clear, we agree on it, or majority of us agree on it, each person will be able to define their own path.
All right. Quite an interesting session, Pastor Sam Adeyemi, a leadership consultant and senior pastor of Daystar Christian Center. Okay, we'll take a break. We thought we were going to just go through the mails now, but we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.